So, Steve, it's full time at the Crest Stadium. Herne Bay 0, Sheppey 4. What do you make of the result?
Not very happy, obviously, with the result, but there were certain parts of the game, a lot of parts of the game that were good, and there was a lot of parts that were poor. Obviously, to concede 4 goals is not an ideal situation, and we just worked out now in the last 3 or 4 games we've conceded quite a few goals, and that is going back on what we did last year. Early on in the season, we had 8 clean sheets and defended well. And is it personnel? I don't, I don't know. We're missing quite a few defenders out of our back four. But I thought today, even DC and Sky and Parts, they did their bit. They did their bit, and they're not at fault for any of the goals. First goal is a worldie. He smashes it in from outside the box. Keeper had no chance with that. Second one, a midfield runner from midfield. No one picks him up. Easy tapping. And then second half, we start the second half. We had 3 or 4 really good opportunities to get back in the game. And I said half time, if we get the next goal, we'll get something out of it. Unfortunately, there was a lot of opportunities that we had in the first quarter, an hour, 20 minutes of the second half that we could have got right back into the game. We didn't take it. Then they get a penalty. So, again, these things happen. Things go against you. But there's certain players that I think have got to grow up very, very quickly. They're young side, but they grow up very very quickly. The senior players in the side today, I thought were excellent and give everything. I think there's certain players out there today, the younger ones, not so much the very young ones, but there's certain players out there today that didn't give what they should be giving. And if they're not going to do that, there's no point in being around here. They won't get in my team. So they've either got to roll their sleeves up and have a go and show me that they deserve to be in the squad and in the team, or they can look elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, opening 20 minutes, we looked really good. We were all on the front foot. We looked like a chance coming, and then a goal kind of comes from nothing.
Yeah.
A bit like Sevenoaks. What do you
Yeah.
think about the mentality in that situation? Because it feels like a bit of a mentality difference.
Yes, and I totally agree with you. I've just said in there, like some of them, they've got to, the younger ones particularly, have got to look at themselves, and they make a mistake or something goes wrong, and their heads go down. They go, oh God, we're behind. And you look at the other boys, the senior pros, they don't. Jack Parter, Hurdy, Kane Rowland, they all want to do something. They win all their tackles, they win all their headers. They're still doing the right things. But I feel some of the younger ones they feel sorry for themselves and go, oh, we 1-0 down. Oh, we should never be 1-0 down, but do something about it. And they've got to grow up in their football terms very, very quickly. Because they'll get left behind. But they will. It's a learning curve for them. It'll show their mentality and their personality. But they've got to show it quickly because I'm not going to hang around for them to grow up. They've got to grow up very, very quickly, and you've got to do it in football. Otherwise you get left behind. Yeah, I agree with you. It's a mentality thing, but all the older players, they didn't have a mentality problem. They kept going straight to the end. And that's what they've done all their careers. And this is what these youngsters have got to bring into their career going forward.
Yeah, like I say, it's a shame for us. It's two losses in the row, and obviously we now have Margate coming up. Obviously, speaking about some of the individuals, do you think there's going to be a few changes going into that game midweek?
Yeah, well, I will. I'll change it when I feel it necessary. But it's so easy to get carried away when you lose a game, but I'll have a good think about it and see what we can do. We're only here, me and Mark are only here to help players and to help them in their path in their career. And if you do that, then they're doing well for you. It's so easy when we were doing well start of the season, everybody's happy and everything is going great. Everybody can accept that. It's now it's showing the character of people when we've lost the last 2 games, and we've got to back up our ideas ready for Tuesday against Margate, and then Croydon next Saturday. So with us having so many games now, it gives us an opportunity to give players minutes on Tuesday, and hopefully put it right. But there's no remedy straight away. Remedy for getting things right. You've got to have the mentality, and you've got to have the ability to do that yourselves, and hopefully they'll come through. It's a blip, but we'll get through it.
And like I say, you said obviously Margate, it is Tuesday, and we're back here at the Press Stadium. Hopefully a big win in that game. Is there anything you're telling the boys before the game, obviously after today?
No, I've just told them everybody turn up. I did say to them, because I had a few harsh words with them today, and there's certain players there that I feel are not putting in what they should be putting in. So I've told them, look, I'll see you all Tuesday, unless you want to come and see me, want to speak to me about not being there, because you don't want to do it. So if they don't want to work and don't want to put it in, then I'll get a phone call, or I'll speak to them. But otherwise, everybody who wants to roll their sleeves up and work hard for this club and for the people behind this club, I'll be behind them 100%. But if they're not, then they might as well go.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Cheers.